All right, to emasculate is to deprive of strength, vigor, spirit, to weaken. These are 15 ways that happens for male developers, and specifically in the realms of health, work, and women. At the very end, I'm going to show a little example of how to change your life subtly so that all these things don't happen to you. I'm feeling vigorous right now, and I'm going to come out hot. The first thing that emasculates you with women as a developer is watching porn. I could talk about this for an hour. I could talk about my personal experiences with this. I could talk about the studies. I'm just going to leave it at one point. It teaches your mind that it's okay to engage with women in that way without them having attraction towards you. That leaves you naive, and it causes you to devalue yourself. Really not good. Let's say you're past that, or you're capable of getting dates. The second way you emasculate yourself is that you try to get lots of dates. So you need a wife ASAP. You need a rotation. You need a bunch of girls to hook up with, almost like a salesperson needs to hit his quarterly quota to keep his job. It shows you lack purpose and you need this romantic validation. 3 is you rush to schedule your dates. So I'm going to share that in the specific example. I'll just leave it at that for now. 4 is you communicate with your girl the same way you communicate with your code and your teammates. If you're a good developer, that means you're logical, you're methodical, you're detail-oriented, you're introspective, you're a problem solver. That all works because the code doesn't have emotions. The code doesn't have a biological mating strategy. However, your girl's life runs on emotions. If you don't learn how to adjust how you show up with her so that you use those emotions in your favor, you'll be punished. This doesn't have to be toxic, okay? Relax. But if you're overly logical, if you don't read her actions, that means you're going to value her words more than her actions. That's going to leave you naive again and expose you to punishment. Number 5, you don't change your level of investment based on her behavior. You misallocate your resources of time, energy, and money based on what she says and not what she does. That's deep, and we're going to come back to that again in the example. Let's go back to work. These are 5 ways that you make yourself less strong in the workplace. Not going on video when you speak. I get it, we're on lots of calls. I get it, it's not fun, but you need to own the time and the attention that people give to you so that they value you. Go on camera, look at people in the eye, and speak what you got to say, and then go off. Not doing that really lessens how strong people perceive you. Second is using qualifiers when you commit at work. So it's a stand-up, and you're saying, yeah, yesterday I worked on bug 1, 2, 3, and it went okay. Maybe I'll try to fix it by next stand-up. Or you'll say, yeah, I was working on 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to keep working on 1, 2, 3, and if all goes well today, I'm going to do my best, and we'll see. By tomorrow, it might be done. No. You're avoiding responsibility with all that fluff, with all those qualifiers. Simple as this. Yesterday, I worked on bug 1, 2, 3. I got probably half done. By tomorrow morning, it'll be done. See, that's easy. People know what you're doing. People see that you're putting yourself on the line. I don't care if it takes you 24 hours to do it. You just get it done. No excuses. No fluff. 3, the third thing where you can emasculate yourself at work is needing to check your work chats. Whether it's Teams or Slack or Google Meet, if you're checking out of compulsion and not out of the necessity of your job, it's because you're afraid of telling people no. It's because you're afraid of holding a boundary. You might think, okay, it's good because I need to be available for people. I need to answer questions and help people if they're stuck and blah, blah, blah. But you won't get anything done. You'll get more and more messages. You're teaching people that your time isn't valuable and that what they're working on is more important than what you're working on. And everyone just sees that you're a pushover. If you told them, hey, I see that message. I'd love to respond, but I don't have time because I'm working on X. I'm working on bug 1, 2, 3. I'll respond in 4 hours when I'm done. They will appreciate that more, actually. 4 is refusing to actively learn. You went to a boot camp, you got a CS degree, you hustled your way into a job, and now you think you're done. Now you think it's your employer's job to sponsor every conference you go to buy every book for you, to buy every course for you, to give you permission to do every little thing. You expect a senior member of your team to reserve time on your calendar, to stop what he's doing, to teach you how to code better. No, it's the total opposite. It's your job to learn those things and to understand where the industry is going, to get skilled, and then you teach your coworkers, you tell your employers, like, hey, this is where we're going, this is the future, I think we should do this, here's a prototype I built over the weekend. It's a totally different mindset. You can't be passive with your learning anymore. Things change too quickly for that, and you'll be left behind. 5, in the workplace setting, if you don't challenge your meetings, you will be weakened. What I mean by that is, say you have a standing meeting every week. It's like an hour on your calendar, and it's scheduled by a middle manager who has a bunch of other meetings, and they're not prepared. And after 3 weeks of this, you're like, I haven't contributed to any of these. I haven't gotten any value out of this. I could have had 3 more hours to be learning or working on my craft or fixing bug 1, 2, 3. But you're too afraid to say anything about it. You're too afraid to ask for an agenda. You're too afraid to try to cut it short. You're too afraid to redirect people once they get off track. You're too afraid to have that one-on-one conversation with your middle manager. You're too afraid after 3 of those failed conversations to talk to your manager's manager about it. And you're too afraid to just say, no, I'm not going. I don't think it's a good use of my time or the company's time. I'm available over chat if you'd like to catch me up, but I'm not going to be there. They will appreciate you if you do that. And finally, back to the basics, 5 ways that your health habits emasculate you, make you less vigorous. You sit too much. This is big. It's really simple, but it's actually big. As a developer, you have to be looking at the screen. But if you sit all the time, you're going to mess up your posture. You're going to be leaning like this. You're going to be hunched over. Your back's not going to be strong. In the back, you won't be able to stand up straight. You won't be able to perform basic movement patterns in life, in sports, in the gym. And also your facial structure is going to mess up. Your digestion is going to mess up because when you're all hunched over, the food doesn't go anywhere. You're going to feel bloated and have less energy. It's just so much downhill from that. I'm going to give you a quick tip on this right away instead of waiting till the end. When you eat, then you walk for 10 to 20 minutes, and then you stand for an hour. And then you can go back to sitting. That'll fix all this. Promise. Second health habit that emasculates you is eating soft, nutrient-poor foods as an escape. Not only does it affect your identity and your willpower, it again affects your digestion and your facial structure. You're not developing your jaw muscles. You're not learning how to move your jaw properly. It gets out of whack. And not only does it not look attractive, but also can mess up your breathing. You won't be breathing through your nose as well. That might even affect your sleep. That's going to affect a lot of things downhill from there. Look it up. It's really interesting. I'm not an expert, but I know it works. 3, drinking alcohol regularly. It weakens your willpower. It deprives you of your mission and your vigor. Not good. 4, sleeping poorly because you're staying up late, scrolling on your screen like this, or you're playing video games with your friends, and then you snooze your alarm 3 times, and you start off the day like garbage. And lastly, you're not going to like me for this one, but video games emasculate you. I get it. I know it's very appealing for a lot of developers. I could talk about this one for a lot too. I went through the phase of video gaming. The problem is you're escaping your reality and you're sedating yourself instead of building actual life. You're a builder, you're a creator. You're not someone who just plugs into someone else's creation and plays around in the simulation. You create. That's what you have to do. Those are 15 separate specific problems, but I have one cure, and I have a beautiful diagram to show it. The one cure is this: properly allocating your resources. This is the concept behind the cure. Properly allocating your time, your money, and your energy. And within energy, I'm bucketing your emotions and your willpower. In the pursuit of a high level of validation. So low level of validation would be from women, from venture capitalists, from bosses, from parents. A good level of validation would be from either yourself or from God. The root cause of all this is not putting yourself first or God's plan for your life first. And instead you put your coworker's plan first, your girlfriend's plan, your friend's plan, your family member's plan, some guru on YouTube's plan, and you do whatever I say instead of doing what you're called to do. But try this on. You're going to commit to 1 to 2 goals. This is the fix. 1 to 2 goals. One of the goals has to be fitness related. I say fitness and not aesthetic. I'm not saying body fat percentage. I'm not saying a specific like weight in the gym. Fitness involves performance, which is like a moment in time when you're applying your skill and doing a thing. So you're working towards mastery in the physical aspect of the world, and some moment in time you have to perform well. You'll see why this comes in handy. And then the second goal is you have to learn to develop a non-physical skill. The importance here is you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to read, you're going to have to buy a course, you're going to have to learn a new skill, join a mastermind, whatever. Now, I'm going to show how to do this using an example of 2 realities. Same guy, 2 realities. This is this guy's week, how it is now. So he wakes up, he checks Instagram, he scrolls on his phone a little bit, then he goes to work and he's checking Twitter or TikTok while he's working. Then we have open space. He's checking socials again. Then he's like, okay, I should work out. I feel good. I'm going to work out on Wednesday. Things continue. Friday, it gets a little worse. Saturday, he's like, he stayed up late, extra late, playing video games or scrolling. So now he's going to sleep in extra late. And now he's in bed and he's like, I might as well rot on my phone and scroll through the latest garbage on there. Then he works out a little bit, but like he's kind of off because he didn't feel great. Then he hangs out with his boys at the end. He does something productive. I like that. Maybe he goes out for brunch with a family member over here. It's all good. Then we have all this white space. So let me bring it back to where we started with the women. Let's imagine in this scenario, he's capable of getting a number. He went out the last week, he got a number, and it's like Monday or Tuesday now, and he's like, I should text that girl. She seemed really cool. He texts her on Monday, Tuesday, and then he looks at his calendar or his phone. He's like, look at all this white space. I'd love to hang out with her on Sunday. I have a ton of open space on Sunday. Let me try to push for that. Now he demonstrates scarcity. Now he demonstrates neediness. Now he has all this time to be thinking about the date and the girl and planning out what he's going to say and getting in his head. And she responds, and he's really pushing for this spot. Now he's double texting. The girl can feel it. She can feel it right away. And all of a sudden, oh, I'm busy. Oh, my tummy hurts. Oh, so-and-so happens. I can't see you. He never sees her again. Same guy who follows what I'm saying with the 2 goals. He sets the 2 goals. 1 goal is adding 15 pounds to his deadlift. 2 is launching an AI agent. So we have the fitness and the non-physical skill. And then 3 is he's going to say, with my work time, I'm going to keep the same amount of time at work, but I'm going to improve my cycle time, which is just when I start a work item to when it gets merged. He's like, I'm going to cut that down to 2 days. So every part of his day, he's working on one of those goals. And he's like, okay, how do I do that? Like, this is kind of a lot, dude. I don't know, Tyler. How am I going to manage all that? So he creates this schedule for himself. Morning, no social media, learning. Work, in between work, lunch break, learning. Podcast, something, newsletter, work, fitness. This is not deadlifting every day. Maybe it's deadlifting 2 times a week. And then the rest of the time, it's active recovery. It's going for a swim, yoga class, maybe a walk. Maybe it's just learning and going to a course on how to deadlift better. Learning. And then he's like, okay, I'm human. I have Instagram. I have friends on there. I want to see what's going on in their life. I'm going to reserve 3 slots during the week to check Instagram. I'm going to time cap it. And then I'm going to go off. That way, if someone gets engaged or has a baby, I'll know about it. And he's specific with that. So no check-ins during the week. Here's the key. Saturday, this is when he performs. This is when he's like, okay, this is when I'm really going to try and practice and perform. And I'm going to have to be locked in to do that. So Friday, I'm going to go to bed early. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to have a good breakfast. And I'm going to get after it. Then he's going to keep that momentum going, work on his AI project for Saturday during the day. And then he's going to hang out with the boys at night. What happens with this guy when he gets the number? And then he probably forgets about the girl because he's so focused on all this other stuff. And then on Wednesday, he's on Instagram and he's like, oh yeah, I met that girl. I should probably text her. Quick, easy text. He's only got a couple of minutes before he has to go to bed. Doesn't think about it. Doesn't even read it until the next night. Then she's like, oh, I don't know if I can hang out this weekend. And he's like, all good. No worries. He's got all this to do. Then it's Sunday and 3 days have gone by and the guy hasn't texted me. He's not needy. He's not pushy. He must have other stuff going on because he does. It's not an act. It's not like he's fighting his mind to resist texting her all the time like this guy would be. He's actually busy. And then lo and behold, she texts him back on Sunday night or Monday, and she's super available, or her tummy doesn't hurt anymore, and now she wants to hang out. It all fits together, guys. It all fits together. The key is this. When you fill up your time with the right things, when you're allocating your finite resources to the right purposes, to the right goals, it all just falls into place naturally. The work, the personal, the health, the romance, it all falls into place once you're willing to put this on the line and commit to it. If you're looking at this and you're like, this is a lot of colors, this is a lot, I hate calendars, I don't want to get into this, I'm full of meetings during the week, I don't like going there, it's just not fun for me, I get it. That's why I built my app. I built Compass Calendar for people like you and me who do want goals, who do want to be full of life, who have different areas of life that they're focusing on, but don't like using Outlook or Google Calendar. Mine actually has a section up top where you can add your goals and things like this to implement it. And think about it every time you're going through your week. You can also categorize it really simply. And it's just a great app. It's a good experience. It's very minimal. It is on a wait list right now. And you do have to fill out, I think, a 7-question quick questionnaire. I read all the responses. If I think you're a good fit, I'll invite you and you can use it. If not, apply these things anyway in whatever system works for you and let me know how it goes. I wish you well, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.